Hari Om. We are now on the mantra 4 of section 2 of chapter 3. Nayamaltma balahinena labhyo naja pramadat tapaso vyabilingat etairupayair yatate yastu vidwan tasyesha altma vishate brahmadhama. The short meaning is, the Atman is not obtained by men of weak disposition, nor by the insincere, nor by those practicing tapas or austerity unintelligently, but wise men who strive with vigor, concentration, and sincerity attain oneness with Brahman. Now let's see the explanation with a bit more detail. The elimination or negation process employed in the last mantra is being carried forward in this mantra too. In the last mantra, if you recall, the Shruti declared that the Supreme Self cannot be obtained by realized by mere discourses or by memorizing of stanzas or by constant hearing, Shravana. In this mantra, a few more negative qualities are indicated, which needs to be weeded out for self-realization. First and foremost, the Rishi says that the kingdom of self is not for the weak. Weak, not in body level, but at psychological makeup. Now we have to put up with the fact that the Creator had designed our sense organs with outgoing tendencies like loudspeaker. Therefore, by default, we behold the external universe and not the internal self or Atman. Paranchikhani vyadranat swayambhu tasmat paran pashyadina antaralpma. I am not tired of repeating this gem of a mantra from Kathopanishad. There the Maharshi says, the sense organs of perception, namely the eyes, the nose, the ear, the tongue, the skin, have a powerful tendency to go outward to lusty fields of their respective sense objects. And they always gallop towards external objects, and hence it cannot, unfortunately, turn inward gaze the Lord within. The sense organs, thus, because of their constant contact with external sense objects, develop an unholy attachment for them. Attachments, you know very well, bring desire. Desire begets anger. Anger begets delusion. Delusion, loss of sense of status, loss of wisdom, and ultimate destruction, vinashyati. Dhyayade vishayan pumsa sangaste shubhajayade sangat samjayade kama kamat krodho vijayade krodhat bhavati sammoha sammohat smriti vibhrama smriti bhramshat buddhinasha buddhinashat pranashyati. The fall of man is so beautifully picturized in Bhagavad Gita. The mind and intellect has no requisite grit to overrule the unholy desires of sense organs, but to join them to partake the vulgar experiences of the world outside. The entire personality thus succumbs to the cheap temptations of the objects, emotions, and thoughts, and man gradually forgets his true nature and comes to identify himself with everything that he is not. Ralph Waldo Emerson, you may be knowing, I'm sure all of you know, is a Western thinker and greatly influenced by Eastern thoughts. He said, I want to quote, "To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. To remain yourself as yourself in a situation when the world is constantly trying to make you something other than what you are, that is the greatest accomplishment. To be yourself is the greatest accomplishment, not to become somebody else. To remain yourself as yourself is the greatest accomplishment." The Shruti of Kathopanishad completes that mantra, Paranchikani Vadranat Swayambhu, Tasmat Parang Pashyadi Na Antaratma, that is a Purvartha. The Uttarasartha, second half, he says, Kaschid Dhira Pratyagatmana Maikshat, Avrta Chakshur Amrutatvam. That this is true. The sense organs are outward turned. Therefore, men by default, their sense organs travel only to the external world. Kaschit, that, but, the Rishi says, some wise men, Kaschit Dhira, Pratyagatmana Maikshat, with eyes averted and his sense turned away from the sensual objects, Avrta Chakshun, Amrutatvam, and who are desirous of immortality, see the Atman within. Who is capable of doing this reverse order? Backward walking? Dhira. Dhira meaning Dhivara. He who has married courage. Dhivara. Courage is always with him. The courageous ones. Kaschid Dhira Pratyagatmana Aikshat Avrta Chakshun Amrutatvam. So that community go to the open seas, unmindful of the lashing waves and other dangers of the ocean, and come back combating against the angry sea. People belonging to that community is called Dhivaras. The community where our great grandsire Rishi Vyasa was born. To turn your sense organs inward is indeed a revolutionary process meant for the courageous. And it is not the courage of the body that is needed, but the courage of the mind and intellect stemming from a pure heart. A vulgar heart can be courageous, but I want a pure heart yet to be courageous. And to him, the outer world is no match for him. No match, come what may. He is unconcerned with its finite pleasures or agonies. The world provides me at best pleasures or agonies. Both are finite. I don't care. My dear boy, you are too little to heckle me. Not with me. Don't play with me. He does not succumb to his unholy thoughts and desires called kamanas. Kamana. One needs the strength of Kuchela and not of Duryodhana. Remember that. That frail, skinny, fakir-looking Sudama made his Lord Krishna to worship him, wash his feet, made his consort wash his face, wash his legs, and with a towel he is wiping. Look at that. Look at his courage. Which bhakta has ever got that privilege of the Lord washing his feet? Not even Prahlada. Isn't it? That is a courage. He did not succumb to the abject poverty that the world has provided him. His sense organs were in full control, and it was always gazing inward for that day of reckoning. My Lord shall not forsake me. He will definitely take care of my Yogakshema. Name Bhakta Pranashyati is a guarantee card given by Bhagavan. My devotees shall never perish. That faith and courage Sudama had. That is the courage that is needed. On the other hand, Duryodhana had made an honest confession, thank God, to his mother that he is a victim of his own desires and is unable to get away from them, albeit his wish to do so. He told this to Gandhari. Janami dharmam nachame pravartim janamya dharmam nachame nivrittim kena abhigamena hridistidena yadha niyuktosi tatha karomi. Before the war, Gandhari called Duryodhana and advised him, "O my son, please give up your enmity with your own brothers. For God's sake, strike a peace accord with them and avert this calamity." The above shloka is a reply of Duryodhana to Gandhari. He says, Janami dharmam. I know, mother, my dharma. I know what dharma is. Don't teach me. I have learnt enough. Nachame pravartim. I cannot put it in practice. I know it. I cannot put it in practice. Janami adharmam. I know what is adharma also. I know what is evil. Nachame nivritim. But I cannot get out of it. I am caught up in that. I am enmeshed in that. I am unable to get out of it. I am not able to go into the good. I am not able to come out of the evil. Why? Kenapi kamena hridistidena. Some unknown desire, in the name of a desire, is sitting in my heart. Kenapi kamena hridistidena. And he is prompting me to do this, do that, do that. My sense organs always go outward. And the mind, along with the sense organs, travel to areas of hatred, jealousy, cruelty, attachment. All these negativities, the sense organs are being taken by the mind is being taken by the sense organs, and the mind commands me to do all these things. So somebody from inside my heart is commanding me to do, and therefore, yadha niyuktosi tatha karomi. Whatever the demand comes from inside, I am doing, mother. Not that I don't know. I know. What is the use? He has no courage. He has no courage to face his temptations and say, shut up. He doesn't say that. He succumbs to the situation, to the demands, to the desires. What courage is that? Similarly, the Shruti wants that those who perform austerity or tapas unintelligently, alinga, for name and fame or for aggrandizement of wealth or power, they also cannot dream of obtaining the self. On the other hand, those dhiras who strive to seek, to find and not to yield, to quote Wordsworth, they are the permanent ones who inherit permanent bliss and peace by realizing the Supreme Self. Can we see how the Lord Himself sees such men of courage in Bhagavad Gita? Shall we hear him? In his description and explanation of the man of steady wisdom, Sthitaprajna, the Lord says, Dukkheshu anuddhignamana Sukheshu vigadaspruha Vidaraga bhayakrodha Sthitathir muniruchyate. There you are. He whose mind is not shaken by the adversity, Dukkheshu anuddhignamana. He who does not hanker for pleasure, Sukheshu vigadaspruha. He who is free from attachment, fear and anger, Vitaraga bhayakrodha, is called a man of steady wisdom. Sthitathir muniruchyate. Such an individual is indeed courageous and is at once a master in himself and a master of the world outside. We may have masters in many subjects, but if we do not have a master in ourselves, then it is useless. That master is a servant. It makes no sense, in spirituality at least. So a perfect seeker is no victim to the world's cruelties. The objects of the world, when they are arranged to provide a conducive pattern, the mind enjoys and feels pleasure or joy. And if it is unconducive, the very same mind feels miserable. This is natural reaction of the mind. The natural reaction of the mind. But he is a dhira or a master who has trained his mind to be unshaken in adversity and in pleasure or joy, to be without any craving or attachment for them. They are indeed the winners who never quit, because quitters never win. Let us see tomorrow what the Shruti has for us in Mantra 5. Hari Om.